Hello and welcome to another nameless episode of the Tuesday show of Off Track with Hinch and Rossi.
It's not nameless. It's called the Tuesday show.
It's called the Nameless Tuesday show. It's all
not
part of the shtick.
You haven't been here for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually. It's called Welcome to the special Tuesday episode of Off Track with Hinch and Rossi.
God, I hate when mom and dad fight.
Do we want to do a little survey attendance record of the history of the Tuesday show and see who's ahead of who on that one?
Me.
Shut up, Tim. Nobody asked you.
Yeah, I am.
Nobody asked you, and nobody cares.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tim is definitely not alone.
Still, that's completely irrelevant information. Nobody cares. Drink your wine. So yeah, guys, we decided this episode, to do a little Q&A.
Mostly because we couldn't agree on a guest.
Yeah, we still need to talk about that, by the way, but we'll deal with that another time. So yeah, but we like hearing from you guys. We are repeatedly and regularly shocked at how many of you there are out there, and we appreciate you coming up to us at races and other events to tell us that you listen to the show. So we figured we'd give you a chance to ask some questions about racing or life or travel or any of the topics that we cover here on Off Track, hating being conversational with serving staff, whatever it is that you really want to know about.
Okay, and I will start off. Yeah, we put it out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to start off with one that's not a question, but I'm a big fan of. I'm texting it to you guys right now. It says, can Alex please acknowledge my thoroughbred wearing a Manor A. Rossi hat? And that was from Oliver Skip IVR, and I've just texted it, and I just like it because it's a cute horse. I'll put it up on the screen. That's it. That was the whole thing. No, we can't acknowledge it. Okay, good to know.
I haven't seen it yet. I would love to acknowledge it. It hasn't come through.
Okay.
That is awesome. I think that's amazing. I love the horse. Vintage hat. Horse has got style. I love everything about it. I would like to know your horse's name. I would like to meet your horse. I would like to give your horse nose boops.
Nose boops. And a carrot.
So
and
do
a
we
carrot.
do we have like a
cube.
topic? Do we have like a topic we want to start on with these questions?
I think the topic should be who the is Tim and how are we friends with him?
Yes, that we did get that a lot. We got at least 7 of those on Instagram, quite a few on Twitter, and I don't want to answer it.
Why don't you just read through? Why don't you just read through some of the Tim related questions, and then we'll kind of just do a blanket statement at the end.
And why is he still around? How did Thim get involved with IndyCar? People in IndyCar. How did they meet Thim? Who is Thim and why is he there? I've only listened since May of 2022, so can you explain how Hinch and or Rossi met Tim? The longer I listen, the more I'm confused how you would have originally crossed paths and become friends. Origin story requested.
Honestly, I would like to know the answer to all of these as well.
Yeah, we've had this debate a lot. I don't remember meeting you. I don't know how you just appeared.
I remember meeting you. I don't remember how we became friends.
Well, once you meet him, he's just kind of impossible to not be friends
I become
with.
load. You guys both spent enough time at Andretti Autosport, and I've made myself, I think, essentially load bearing for that organization. They've tried many times to get rid of me.
Is that the problem?
You're not essential personnel yet. We know that, but you're close. Load bearing is not a bad way of putting it.
Yeah, it's like that wall that nobody wants in their house, but it's like, well, if you take that down, you have to like start over with the whole house.
So I think to answer it succinctly and broadly, we don't know really how we met, why we became friends, or why Thim's still here. But here we are.
Yeah. I think that sums it up pretty well. Yeah. Okay. So because
let's alternate here. Let's start with you, James, and then go to me. So Tim, it's up to you as the moderator of this little shindig to choose questions that'll be suited for each of us.
Okay, well, I actually have one for both of you then.
Oh.
I have from Marta Long 1. My 3-year-old daughter loves the Blippy episode with Hinch and Rossi. How did it come to be a thing? And there was some people that agreed to that and were curious if there's some behind the scenes thing on that. Is it like a media thing where you guys were just told to show up?
So
think
Alex and the guy that plays Blippy went to high school together.
No,
and
no, we did not.
I wanted you to at least go along for a little bit. I was going to fabricate a very elaborate story as to how this all came together.
Juilliard, though, which is just unbelievable. His background in acting and dancing and everything.
So we both got an email saying, hey, there's this big kid show that wants to film something at the Speedway. Will you guys be a part of it? And I think we were both kind of like, eh. And then they're like, they've got 38 million followers on YouTube or something. We're like, all right, I guess we'll do it.
Which is just insane.
And which is absolutely insane. I had not heard of Blippy at this point. I subsequently found out it was like my niece's favorite show. This is like months beforehand that they asked us to do it. And then I found out it was my niece's favorite show. I'm like, oh, that's the show that, oh, okay, cool. Sweet. So we get there and so for those that are in the know with Blippy, there's actually 2 Blippies. Sorry to ruin it for you. And we had Blippy 2, new Blippy. His name's Clayton. Really nice guy. Young dude.
Didn't the first one, was there something weird there?
We're not going to talk about that because we didn't meet him. So it doesn't matter. But Google it if you're interested.
Or don't.
I recommend not. It's really not. It's not pleasant. But yes. So second Blippy, Clayton, very nice kid. And as Alex said, was like a Juilliard trained Shakespearean theater actor and ends up landing a gig as Blippy. It seems like sacrilegious, but I mean, acting is acting, I guess. And I imagine he's absolutely killing it. Mm-hmm. So
I was going to say, it turns out the money you make from being Blippy still spends the same as the money you make from doing anything else. So
Correct.
Yeah. Correct. And I imagine it's significantly more than doing Shakespeare in the park.
So much respect for his ability to like turn it on. You know, we often talk about James's, F1 guy voice and his presenter voice and his broadcast voice and all this stuff. And how good it is. And how good it is.
When James isn't talking into a microphone, heavy Scottish accent.
Right.
Like
but Clayton is like just this normal guy who's like was super interested in racing and the Speedway and all this stuff and could just have a normal conversation. And then as soon as it's like 3, 2, 1, go, it was like, oh my God, what? Are you okay? With like his level of
Alex's
exuberance.
Favorite kind of energy. Yeah.
Very uncomfortable.
But
he's the whole time.
He's like a totally normal person. And he's like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to go here. We're going to talk about this, that. And then you guys stand here. I'll go here, ask you a couple questions. And is that cool? We're like, yeah. And then like Alex says, 3, 2, 1. And then he just goes into like, Blippy. Like the way he does it, like instantaneously was wildly impressive. And yeah, super nice guy. That's the Blippy story.
All right. When are you going back?
To the Speedway?
Going on Blippy. I don't know. I feel like there's some adventures left
to win a 500 again.
All right. So in switching, who wants to start? Am I going to James or Alex first?
Me.
Alphabetical order. Alex.
Okay. All right. Alex.
You were trying to be confrontational, but I agreed with you before you even said it.
Alex, what is your favorite menu item from Cracker Barrel? From Bale.62 on Instagram.
Really depends on
breakfast or dinner.
The mood I'm in. Yeah, it's tough.
The beige one. You like the beige food there, right?
That's all of them. I love the meatloaf. I love the chicken and dumplings. I love the catfish. I like the biscuits.
Okay.
But we're big fans either way.
So let's say not favorite. If you're going there right now, what are you getting?
Today I did a lift. Tomorrow I'm doing cardio. So I'd probably do meatloaf with a side of chicken and dumplings.
All right. James, this is from Evan Ramo on Instagram. What is your favorite win that you've ever had in your entire career?
Your guys' friendship.
Man.
Jokes.
I was going to say, I thought you had a better career than that.
Best win. I don't know, man. Like the first one's always super special, right? That's such a that's such an impossible question for Alex too, because his first one was also the Indy 500. So
I don't think it means just IndyCar, right? It could be in any of the feeder series. Like, it could be your first go-kart race. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had some really cool wins in the junior categories, but like none of them were as meaningful as that first IndyCar win because again, we've talked about this on the show. It's the first one is like just such validation, right? It's everything that you went through, everything you put yourself through, your family through, everything that they sacrificed, that you sacrificed. It's all worth it in that moment when you win for the first time at that level. So even though, you know, like Long Beach is a one of the hallmark events on the calendar, and that one's a super cool one to win. That first race, I think, is always going to be extra special. Unless I'd won in Toronto or the 500, I think that first one was always going to be the coolest.
Because we're a travel podcast, somebody wants to know best and worst airports.
Easy. Best, Indy, worst. Oh.
See, Indy I think's easy is the best, but there's a couple contenders for worst.
Are
you answering a question or taking?
Can
it be both?
I'm gonna have to go. Oh, that's so hard.
Still not sure. LAX. Okay. Well, so what about Orlando or Toronto or Charlotte?
So
Pearson. So Toronto, Pearson has been my number one worst for a long time. But having been in Canada a lot this year, I've got to say I've had some good experiences leaving there the last couple trips.
Okay.
And so it's softened my opinion because LAX and Pearson were always like
the amenities there are pretty strong. So
it has its moments. Yeah.
LAX is pretty miserable.
So LAX is just general, but then what also makes it, I think what tips it over as the worst is the traffic in the airport. Mm-hmm. Like getting around the terminals is insane.
Well, for me, what tips it over is you can't get an Uber without taking a shuttle.
Oh my God, that's so dumb when they did that.
Insanity.
That is insanity. For me, that is worse than anything you would experience at Atlanta, which was high on my list. Charlotte, high on my list.
O'Hare.
Pearson. O'Hare's all right. But yeah, all right. So I go Indy the best, LAX the worst.
I completely concur. Where we live the best, where you live the worst, Tim.
I also agree. Yeah. All right. Alex, if you had been in the era, been in an IndyCar at the time or been older, do you think you would have been a kart guy or an IRL guy?
Oh, kart for sure. To this day, I don't think I've watched an IRL race.
James, any future? This is from Alex Harding, Twister guy, and he says, "Will Hinch and Becky do Amazing Race?" I'll expand it. Any future reality show in your coming up?
Not Amazing Race. I don't think that's on our list.
Sounds like you have a list though.
No, that was kind of just a generic statement. But thank you. That's for calling me out. No, we haven't thought about that. I mean, never say never. I have no idea what could come down the road. It would be fun to do something with her. I don't know which one would be fun. Like, I'm a huge Survivor guy. I would love to have done that at some point in my life.
Like that.
She would not do well on Survivor.
So I don't think that one.
The food you took.
Yeah. She would vote you off the island. She would.
It's like the reward challenge or whatever. And it's a big meal. It's like burgers for everybody. And she picks up a tray, just spills the whole thing on the ground.
I think she'd be good on Dancing with the Stars. I think,
I would love to see her do Dancing with the Stars, to be honest. I actually would love to see
Family Feud. You should go back on Family Feud.
No, I'm going to keep my batting average 1,000 on Family Feud. No team has ever scored a single point against my team when I've competed on Family Feud, and that's a pretty impressive stat. So I'm gonna keep that one running.
Going up against like Connor's teams?
No, Connor was on my team.
Oh well,
it was IndyCar drivers versus Sports Illustrated swimsuit models, and we didn't.
Man, the good old days were cool.
I know we've told this story on the podcast before, but I went to the audience of that and I was quite hungover and it was pretty warm in the audience.
You were very hungover.
It was like 3 hours delayed and I was just sitting in the audience like, I might die.
We could smell the tequila from the stage of Tim's pores in the audience. It was terrific. And God, Steve Harvey, just an incredible human being. God, I love that guy. Just amazing.
Amanda Davidson says, my 5-year-old son, Alex, would like to know what Hinch and Rossi's most favorite track to drive on is. He also would like to know what's your favorite item to use in Mario Kart.
Favorite item? I like the star because you get to go faster and you can cut corners and hit guys.
I never get the star because I'm too far out in front. So I would say the triple red shell.
Nonstop.
If you're leading the race, you're not getting triple red shells.
You do.
Calm down.
You do.
No, you don't.
You get bananas in first.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I guess we got to clarify which version of Mario Kart we're talking about here. Because when I say Mario Kart, I'm thinking N64.
Oh.
Yeah, 64 is the only one that matters.
Okay, whatever. Favorite track to drive? I think it's still got to be Road America.
Yeah, that's still my number one for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, you're going to hate this. Barber, to drive, you're just saying to drive. Barber is a really fun track to drive.
So is Laguna.
It is. It is. I will put Barber slightly ahead of Laguna just in terms of my personal enjoyment. I like the physicality of it. I like the commitment required. But Road America is still number one.
Yes.
All right. I think we probably got time for about 2 more. So I will say... I can't even read this username. Okay. Sono and Cora _Viva.
Doesn't matter.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Be careful, I'm
Absolutely
Italian.
not. Get out of here.
100%.
Get
Totally
out of town. Dude. And you're Italian. This is insane. This is insanity.
Pizza was not invented in Italy. It was invented in China. So
that feels like a not true statement.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think that's right at all.
Google it.
But the pizza in China is terrible.
Wait, hang on. We'll get back to this.
There's just no way that's true because every Italian restaurant in Italy also serves pizza. There's no. I'm willing to accept that maybe it wasn't created in Italy.
Origins of pizza are generally considered to have started in Naples, Italy, in the 17th century. And the modern pizza we know today, with its tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and toppings, was created by Neapolitan bakers in the early 1800s. The first modern-like pizzeria opened in Naples in the 1800s and is still open today. We should go there.
We should definitely go there. And I don't know where you came up with China. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
Pizza. Yeah. But also.
Okay. So sorry. Okay. Pizza as we know it, I guess, you're right, was Italy, but it says that flatbreads were originated in China. So the concept was there, but it wasn't until the Italians added tomato and cheese that it became what is known as pizza. So
got it. So they invented
it was just bread with stuff on it.
Sorry. Fine. Yeah. Italians created pizza. Great. Whatever. Okay. Pineapples are fine.
But no, you shouldn't put pineapples on it. Next question.
Okay. I mean, that was wild. I was ready for that to be right, but then I'm so I feel like so much is right with the world now that I know that that's not right.
Yeah, I would have been very confused by that.
Spaghetti was invented in Italy in imitation of Chinese noodles.
Oh, that's interesting.
I could see that. That makes sense. I like both very much.
The last question we'll do is going to ironically be for James, even though it comes from somebody who calls themselves that Rossi fan. From Locked Loot, she says, how's Sully doing with training? Does Lucy like him?
Sully's doing well with training. I'll be honest with you, up at the cottage, he has a little bit more free reign and is under a little less scrutiny than normal. So we'll see how he is once we get back to civilization and get him back into a routine. But he's doing very well. He's a good boy. And Lucy hates him.
Okay. And Lucy hates him. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this
Did
was
you
a
guys
fun
know where the Caesar salad was invented?
It was in America, right?
No.
Let me guess. Argentina.
No, close.
Give me a continent.
If I give you the continent, you'll guess.
Well, you said close-ish, so is it in South America?
Central.
Oh, okay. It was in Tijuana.
Bitch, this was not your answer to give.
He wasn't going to get it, and I want to be done.
Mexico.
Pretty sure that's North America, not Central. Mexico is North America?
Yeah. I I think he's right on that.
If I'm going to go for 2.
I am right on that.
All right. Well, this was fun. Let's agree on a guess next time.
I was like, Nicaragua? I don't know. Good times. Good times. All right, team. Thanks for sending in questions. Sorry that we suck at answering them. And Tim, sorry for your, you.
Appreciate it.
I don't understand. I feel like people can't make up their mind on anything. The United Nations Geoscheme for the Americas defines Central America as all states of mainland North America south of the United States. So everything that's North America but south of the United States. So what you're saying, it's North America, but because it's south of the U.S., it's central? That doesn't make any sense. Which one is it?
Also, we go pretty far south.
No, it's saying everything south of the United States in North America is considered Central America.
Oh, that's weird. But I'm saying, are they saying it's south of Texas, or are they saying it's south of Florida?
No. The United Nations Geoscheme for the Americas defines Central America as all states of mainland North America south of the United States, hence grouping Mexico as part of Central America.
Yep, that's weird.
So they're saying, it's North America, but it's central.
But it's also central.
Well, I guess, because I guess Central America is not a separate continent. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
Oh, that's a good point.
The more you learn.
See you guys on the main episode Thursday.